In the RV world, power is the name of the game because the more power you have, the more freedom you have, the more ability you have to get off the grid, away from the campsite, out into the great wide unknown, and the longer you can stay. So in today's video, I'm going to introduce you to some lightweight portable generator options. These are gas powered, but they also have models that run on propane that will give you the optimum opportunity to get away from the grid, to stay out there longer, and to enjoy your time in your RV that much more. All right, so the generators in front of me are made by a company called Erayak, and you can find these on Amazon. They're one of many different options, portable, lightweight, and affordable options. They're alternatives to the large name brands that we've seen out there for much larger prices. I chose these because they're readily available on Amazon, and they're something that anybody who's an RVer can have access to if they really want to. So on my right, I have the 4500P. This is a 30 amp and 20 amp option with a 4500 watt peak output. I believe that's 3500 continuous. And to my left, we have the 2400P. This is a 2400 watt maximum output with, I believe, an 1850 watt continuous output. And these are really made for two different scenarios. You'll see we're right here next to my parents' RV. This is not my RV, but it's the largest RV I have access to. It's 30 feet long, and it would hook up to this 30 amp option, the 4500P, with its 30 amp output. So this would be more for the RVer, and this would be for someone who likes to tent camp and take a little extra emergency power with them, somebody who's a van lifer who doesn't always need a portable generator powered by gas, but that might want that option to take along with them. And they fit in almost any storage compartment, the truck bed in our case, as you're pulling your RV. So what I thought we would do is hook these up, do some testing, see how loud they are, hook it up to the RV, run things like the air conditioning, the microwave, the refrigerator, see how it handles large appliances, and then we'll regroup at the end and see if these really are a good option for RVers and campers that want to take a little extra power with them wherever they go. And so before we fire up the 4500P, I thought we'd go over this little toolkit that came with it. It's got an adapter here that goes in the front that allows you to plug in your 30 amp cord. It also has some connectors here for your 12 volt DC output that go to a battery connector, so you could recharge a battery with it. This, you've got some tools and an extra spark plug. It's just a nice handy little kit that they provided so you're prepared for any situation. Okay, so you'll see that we've got our 50 amp cord coming out of the RV here. The end is connected to a 30 amp adapter, this orange portion, and we've got our adapter for the front of the generator here. We're just gonna plug it in and give it a little kind of quarter turn to the right clockwise to lock it in place. What I want to do to start is to fire this thing up and show you just how quiet it is. Then we'll focus on the power output and what it does inside the RV. So I've got a decibel meter there after we fire it up. On both of these generators, they have a little valve on the top of the gas cap that vents. You want to make sure that's turned to on so it vents and doesn't shut off on you. As well as on the side next to the pull cord, you have a choke. It's labeled stop, run, and start. And obviously you want to turn that to start when you're getting going. It really starts pretty easy. Doesn't take more than a pull or two to get going. First pull. Now we're going to just turn it up to run. And you can kind of hear how loud it is in the background. So I've got my decibel meter here. We're gonna check the decibel level on the generator from different places. All right, so let's go plug the RV in. Let's test out the air conditioner and the appliances inside the RV, make sure they run together, and let's see how loud it is once we're inside the RV. All right, before we even go inside the RV, I want to point out that this is the decibel reading on the other side of the RV. We've got all our lights on. You can see the TV is on in the background, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the decibel rating for in here. I'm going to stop talking just for a second so you can see. So we're down to less than 50 decibels, and I should also note that I have the door open still, so a little bit of that sound is bleeding. From the Class Cs that we've owned and had onboard generators that were mounted underneath the floorboards, this is actually quieter than those. And the thing that I find interesting is that we are doing worst case scenario right now. I am really supposed to pull that generator as far from the RV as I can. In whatever situation, we have like a 20-foot cord, go as far away from the RV as we can to get it quieter, but I left it right next to the outside wall, less than 5 or 6 feet away from the RV. So this is worst case scenario. We're still less than 50 decibels inside the RV with the TV on in the background, and I find it to be very quiet, especially compared to onboard generators we've had in other RVs that we've owned. Okay, so now that we've done the sound test, let's go ahead and do a power test. We're gonna turn on some of these appliances and even one of the air conditioners, since it's only 30 amp, and test out whether or not it can handle all of this stuff at once. Okay, so we're right here next to the thermostat. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And now we've got the air conditioner running at low speed. We've got the thermostat set down to 71, current temperature 73. So you can hear the air conditioning running behind me. I think the air conditioning is much louder than the generator itself. So if you're running the generator to run the air conditioning, you'd really never notice. And here's the decibel level with the air conditioner running. And it seems to be handling one air conditioner, no problem, well within the limits of this 4,500 watt generator. Now let's go turn on some other appliances at the same time and see what we can do. So our air conditioner is still running. You can probably hear that. We have all our ceiling lights on. Our TV is on. Now we're gonna turn on the microwave and see how that affects things. Just gonna add 30 seconds here. Microwave's running. Nothing is tripping. Handling it just fine, just like a 30 amp power outlet at an RV park. And even though it's pretty low output, I will point out that our 12 volt fridge just kicked on as well, so the fan is running. So we were running microwave, refrigerator, air conditioner, lights, and TV all on this 30 amp generator, no problems at all. And honestly, the noise from the outside is pretty minimal compared to onboard generators and what the air conditioning itself sounds like inside the rig. And so now that we've turned off all the appliances inside, let's go check on the generator and see how it's running. Seems to be running smoothly. I haven't heard any hiccups from this thing yet. Just runs nice and smooth. Got the exhaust out the back. And now all we need to do is turn this to stop, and the generator shuts off on its own. Nothing else to do. All right, so now that we've tested the 4500P, let's do a quick regroup on the stats and the features. This has a 2.25 gallon gas tank, and that will last 8 hours if running at 50% capacity. Now you'll notice on the side, it does say tri-fuel inverter generator. They have different models. This is the gas only model. You can get one that has gas and propane enabled. I don't know what the third fuel is because I didn't get that model, but I kind of prefer gas because of how readily available it is. A small can, and you can get enough to fill this a few times and run for 8 hours at 50%. I like those stats. So let's talk about what's on the front here. Of course, we've already talked about the 30 amp plug right here. That's great. Then you've got two 20 amp plugs. These are your regular household plugs. It also over here has the plugs to run two of these in parallel. So if you need more power, maybe you want to run it with both ACs at the same time, well, double your power by getting two. You can daisy chain them together with these parallel cords. Then you've got an eco mode. Now the eco mode is for those times when you're not drawing a lot of power. Let's say you're just off the grid and you want to watch a movie, have the lights on. Maybe your AC isn't running and you've just got low voltage things going. You can save a lot of gas by switching it on to eco mode. And then here you've got a DC protector fuse and a 12 volt outlet here. Like I said earlier, they have a 12 volt to positive and negative terminals to charge a battery, so you could charge a battery if a car battery dies. And then you've got your indicators here for oil, and then some kind of problem, and then your green OK light is going to be on when it's running. Oh, don't forget, you also have USB-A and USB-C ports on the front here. But overall, I'm impressed with how it runs, and for not being a large name brand, being really portable, I think it's only 52 pounds. This fits in the trunk of my car under my tonneau cover. It fits in the storage compartment of the RV. You can take it anywhere. Now let's go check out the 2400P for those of you that aren't RVing, but maybe just van lifing or camping off grid. And so this is more the scenario I'd use the 2400P in. I'm tent camping, I've got my little cargo trailer, and I just want a little extra backup power. So these are things that we often take when we're tent camping and just want a little bit more comfort. We take a fan. This fan also has like a shop light on it. And we also take a vacuum with us to kind of keep the inside of the tent and our vehicle clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this one up just like the other one. It's the same process and it has a lot of the same features. So we're gonna go through the same process here. Turn this down to start. First pull on both of them. That's pretty standard. Turn it to run. All right, we're running. Now let's get our decibel meter. Okay, so the wind is starting to pick up. You can see our fan over here is already going. So that may contribute to this reading, but we're about 6 feet away here. This is the decibel reading. Now let's scoot back. So I just realized that we've been in eco mode, so it's a little bit quieter than it would have been in regular mode, but I don't think we need regular mode to run these appliances. So here we've got one of our 20 amps plugged in. Turn my fan on to high. My light on. I can hear it pick up. All right, now let's add this vacuum. Let's see how many volts that takes up. And so just stepping back away from everything for just a moment, it's having no problem running these appliances at the same time. And when it comes to off-grid camping, it's about powering small things for long extended periods of time. This is currently on eco mode, so it's not even all the way cranked up, and it's having no problem handling both the vacuum, the fan, and the light at the same time. I can't see you using this for a whole lot more or heavier lifting when you're just out tent camping, off-grid, want a little extra power, recharge a battery, or run a small appliance. And we're just gonna turn this off now. This 2400P is the size that it's just easy to pick up and throw in the trunk of a car to take with you. It's light enough that you're gonna want to take it in other places. It's not very big, and the big comfortable handle makes it no problem at all. You can carry this all day long. And I love the fact that we can go in eco mode, we can save some gas and run some small level appliances, or we can crank it up a little bit more to get maximum output. But there's no doubt in my mind that these are going to work if well maintained. They're going to work for a long time. They seem to run really smooth. They're user friendly. Getting it going was just like any other small engine. Of course, there's going to be oil changes and spark plugs to maintain. But if you're going to use it often enough, I think these will really serve you well. I think after testing these, I really prefer portable generators over onboard generators for RVs. They're so much more portable. If you ever need them serviced, you can pick them up and take them places. Often parts are more accessible within these. So I'd say check these out for yourself. I was impressed with the price they were being sold at and the quality of what they're doing. They've got a lot of great features and they seem to run smooth. So thanks for watching today's video about these Erayak portable generators. If you're interested, I'll leave links in the description below for both of them. As always, my name is Joel. This is the Traveler Toolkit, and I'll see you in the next video.